As if several $billion in fraud isn't enough, the Somalian community in Minneapolis is demanding more.
Somali of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. The Somalian community have some nerve to stand there with their purses open demanding more money. Reparations, you could say. Haven't the American taxpayer paid enough? Your being in this country is your fucking reparation. This whole press conference is blasphemy. Who do you think keep you pirates in butter and brickle? And then you hold a rally and this is your spokesperson? A person with an IQ of 40? And who the hell did you have lose their lives? At the end of the day, you had white liberal women out there acting as terrorists trying to stop ICE from doing their jobs. I didn't see any of you mummy-faced Durkas out there fighting with those crazy liberals as they tried to obstruct ICE, all in the name of protecting you. No. While white liberals was out there committing jihad against the ICE agents, you guys were somewhere hiding, stealing. Go figure.
A massive immigration crackdown, thousands of arrests, business shutting down, and now a new debate spreading across social media. After federal immigration raids hit Minnesota, some activists began calling for compensation and relief for communities affected by the operation. But that conversation has now sparked a wider online debate, including reactions from many Black Americans asking important questions. What exactly happened in Minnesota and why are people talking about reparations? Today we are breaking down the full story, the raids, the protests, the call for compensation, and why this situation has become one of the most talked about immigration debates online right now. Let's watch these clips and then we'll come back with more comments.
So y'all mean to tell me that the Somalians are now demanding reparations because of ICE? Are you for real? Are you serious? Because let me tell you something. That is the greatest way to start a civil war. Give them reparations if you want to. And the Black community been promised reparations from the Democratic Party since the past 160 years basically? Be for real. Be for real. It's the audacity for me. You have the audacity to come to my country, to steal from me, and then demand reparations when you have literally done nothing. At least Black people got a case when they asked for reparations because they were brought here on their own. They didn't come on their own. They were brought here and they had to build this country for free. Okay? They were slaves. Okay? And we couldn't even get reparations. But y'all demanded reparations because y'all feelings is hurt? Because y'all got caught stealing? Dude, baby, let me tell you something. This is really, 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 really pissing me off. It's the audacity. And then you have a press conference to announce that you want reparations. Are you cool? Are you cool? Bro, if they don't round these mugs up and send them back to where they came from so they can have a greater appreciation for America, that's going to be a problem. That's what needs to happen. They need to go back to where they came from so they can realize just how good they got it here and stop reparations. I don't think I'm going to ever get over this. I don't think I'm going to ever get over the fact that the Somalians are asking for reparations. I will never get over this. That's a problem. That is a whole problem. And the real problem is, you liberal white people, y'all letting them feel like they got the power and authority and they're entitled to it. Y'all letting them feel like that. Give Somalians reparations, and that's going to indeed start a civil war. I promise you that.
So, in Minnesota, some suburban mayors are saying that businesses are hurting or struggling because of the ICE situation. They're claiming that people are scared to go out, so small businesses and restaurants are losing customers. Some restaurants say they're down 30 to 40% in sales. And the mayor's also saying and complaining that they've spent extra money on police. So now they're asking the state to help cover those extra costs and also the extra costs to support the small businesses. Not only that, some members of the Somali committee are asking for reparations. Yes, they're asking for reparations. They said that their businesses has been hurting because of ICE. They want the state to cover those damages. They're asking Tim Watts to fix it. And of course, he hasn't responded. You know what they say, Minnesota? Go woke and go broke.
Well, the story begins in the late 2025 when federal authorities launched a massive immigration enforcement campaign in Minnesota known as Operation Metro Surge. So, according to officials, it was one of the largest immigration enforcement operations ever conducted in the United States. So, thousands of federal agents were deployed to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, which is home for the largest Somali community in the country. So the goal, according to the federal agents, was to investigate immigration violations and other arranged crimes connected to fraud and organized networks. So over the next several weeks, thousands of arrests were made, immigration raids took place across the neighborhoods, and deportations operations increased dramatically. But as the enforcement increased, so did the controversy.
To learn our culture. So now the Somalis, they've been going through hell from this Trump administration because they've come here with their scams. And while they come here with their scams, they was making money. They start looking down on the community. They start talking bad about us and had the audacity to now say that they want reparations. They're asking for reparations for what ICE have done to their communities, where their whole community is mixed up in a $9 billion scandal. From Maine to Seattle, to Portland, all the way back to Columbus, back to Minnesota. They're wrapped up in all these scandals. I mean, it gets crazy. And they had the audacity to be talking about us to the point where our people had to talk like this.
It's okay to abuse foundational Black Americans. It's okay as long as the abuse is not reciprocal. As long as you guys don't punch back, it's okay.
Right.
Okay. Because we've been called akatas, we've been called lazy, we've been said people say we don't have no culture. I mean, Kai Sanat's gone viral saying that we don't have no culture.
Yep.
The Frank has gone viral saying that we don't have no culture. I mean, they say we don't have no culture, or if we do have culture, it's drug dealing, it's baby mamas,
Twerking,
murder, it's crime. We don't do it. We're not sophisticated, low IQ, all of that stuff. And you don't see Pan-Africanism saying anything. These are the same Pan-Africanists who, if we say something unfavorable, whether it's true or not true, most of the time it is true, about Africa, be all like, y'all know y'all got tribal beasts. Here come Pan-Africanism. Oh, let's not start no diaspora war. Let's not start no diaspora war. But we can be told that we don't want to be seen at Juneteenth. I mean, at Carnival. They can sell us, hey, I don't want Black Americans at Carnival. Pan-Africanism, absent.
Yeah, not there.
Michael B. Jordan, Pan-Africanism, absent.
Yep.
When we try to step in their lane or do anything, whether we do it respectfully or not, Pan-Africanism, when they get to beating us up, talking about us, denigrating us, Pan-Africanism, absent.
So now, because they see FBA Americans arguing about reparations in this country right now, what do? These Somalis, they start running their scams again. They want to now ask for reparations for their communities to be repaired, where they should have got rid of those scammers in their communities from the door. The governor, what's the governor? I forgot his name is escaping me right now. Tim Walz. He was complicit with this. The mayor. All of them, all these Democrats have been complicit with replacing us. They've been complicit with allowing these groups to come here and have funds allocated to their communities. But when we lift up our heads and turn around and say, what about our community? Oh, well, those funds have dried up already, right? They run these programs where what's supposed to be allotted for the freedmen, it automatically go to these Democrats allowed to go to these immigrant groups.
As news of the raids spread, protests quickly began across Minnesota. Community groups, activists, and the local organization organized demonstrations demanding investigations into the enforcement tactics, protection of the immigrant communities, and accountability if civil rights violations occurred. So some Somali-owned businesses even joined as state shutdown protests, closing their doors in solidarity with the demonstrations. So as these protests continued, some activists and political leaders began discussing whether people affected by the raids should receive financial relief or reparations. The idea behind these proposals included things like compensation for individuals wrongfully detained, support for businesses that suffer financial loss, and assistance for families affected by enforcement operations. Some activists used the word reparations when describing potential compensation for damages. That specific word quickly spread across social media discussions.
100%. The only thing I don't agree with them is, which I don't need to agree with you on whether or not you like somebody or not. I think that Trump is the best president of our lifetime, and he's actually fighting for this country, this culture, and what's best for Americans. And to think that there are actually people out there that are fighting on behalf of people that are 88% taking advantage of taxpayers and taxpayer dollars in order to get themselves together, enrich themselves, and to take opportunities out of other people's mouths, continuing to drive us into debt, and not do the right thing while disrespecting the culture, and y'all support this. And the only people that I've seen do it and support it is liberal white people. Liberal white people has to be the bane of the existence of this entire country. It is insane. I expect for Ilhan Omar to do whatever it is that she's doing and to fight for her own people, because that's what they do. That's her culture. She came over here. She wound up becoming a citizen of the United States of America. She wound up getting office. And so she's fully vested in taking advantage of what is happening here in the United States of America. All of these other people, I don't get it. Like, I don't agree with her, but I understand why she's so vigilant and standing for the Somali people, because those are her people. And that's why she speaks to them in her native language. What are y'all sending me? Man, these people is going crazy. I promise you I'm going to link them back in the description to give credit, regardless of whether I agree or not. I don't know who's marrying who. I don't know who's in a relationship with who. I don't know anything about inbreeding. That's not my expertise. What I do know is that there's a lot of scamming that's going on, and a lot of taxpayer dollars that's being leveraged and used, and a lot of people are not necessarily happy about it, and black people are starting to wake up. Black people are starting to wake up. They are saying, listen, I don't agree with this. I'm not rocking with it. It's not my cup of tea. This ain't our fight. And you know what's so funny? Because I'm going to discuss this on the Millionaire Morning Show today, that I keep seeing them say that this is their land, that Minnesota is their land, that 3,000 years ago, the land was promised to them. And then they taken, the lessons of Abraham. And you know how God promised, and maybe some of y'all may not be necessarily familiar, but God was like, yo, anybody that harms you.
So one of the reasons this story went viral and black Americans reacted is Minnesota has one of the largest Somali population in the United States, with tens of thousands of residents. So many members of the community came to the US like in the 1990s. So over time, Somali Americans have built businesses, cultural centers, and political representation in the state. So when federal enforcement operations suddenly intensified in those areas, it quickly became a major political and social issue. And when activists started discussing compensation or reparation, the conversation expanded far beyond Minnesota. So people across the internet, including the black Americans, debating questions like, Should government compensate communities harmed during enforcement operations? How should immigration enforcement balance law enforcement and civil rights? And what responsibility does government have when communities experience large-scale eruption? So the same questions, I'll direct them to you, my audience. What do you guys think? I would love for us to have a discussion on the comment section below, and kindly remember to keep it respectful. Thank you so much for watching this video up to this point. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.